listeners. This is called turn on your soul. Actually, it's becoming a very popular term nowadays, turn on your soul. Considered a very, very popular term. Why? Because of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has made this a popular idea. What does it mean, turn on your soul? If I say turn on the light, what does that mean? It means the light is off right now, right? So right now, our souls are turned off. Why are they turned off? Because we are misidentifying with this rotting corpse. Can you imagine how stupid that is? For an eternal living being, eternal full of knowledge and bliss, to misidentify with a rotting corpse which is temporary, full of ignorance and misery. Isn't that the height of stupidity? Isn't it? It's completely idiotic. It's like the son of a multi-billionaire living as a beggar on the street. His father's a multi-billionaire, and he's the only son. He's inherited billions of dollars, but he ran away from home. He's living as a beggar somewhere in some strange corner of the world. So that's our position right now. We're the dear sons of that supreme owner of everything. We're his dear sons and daughters. We're the dear children of that personality who owns absolutely everything. We ran away from home to try to enjoy separately. Well, and that's why our souls are turned off right now, because we've disconnected ourselves from our very source, our very energetic source. We're struggling here like beggars on the street. Give me a rupee, please, or even a paisa. So just imagine the height of our stupidity. So this is the mercy of these great Vaishnava acharyas. Actually, it all begins with Krishna. Krishna is the original acharya. He enlightens Brahmaji, who enlightens Narada, who enlightens Vyasadeva, who enlightens Madhvacharyas. Come down this whole system of how to turn on your soul. Of course, we all know what is the switch that turns it on. We all know that. But how's it go? See? Oh yeah, it goes like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the question is, how do you keep it turned on? You see? For us neophytes, we turn on the switch, we flip it off, we turn it on, isn't it? We think about Krishna, we think about some woman, we flip it off, we flip it on and off, on and off, on and off. We think about money or sex or something, flip it on and off, on and off, on and off. So why we don't keep it turned on, you see? Why we don't keep it turned on? Why we keep turning it off again, becoming diverted once again? What does Krishna say? Yato nishchalati mam nashcham sadamustaram tatastata nayanya tat atmameva shamya. Yes, from whatever and wherever the mind wanders due to its flicker and unsteady nature, we must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. What does that mean? Krishna recognized we have minds that are of a flickering nature, you see, on and off, on. What does flickering mean? On and off, on and off. That's the nature of our mind. A little Krishna, a little Maya, a little bit more Krishna, a little bit more Maya, flipping back and forth. But what's better, Krishna or Maya? What's better? Krishna consciousness is sense gratification, isn't it? Keep flipping back and forth. Well, Krishna consciousness is pretty good, but sense gratification is pretty good too. And then back again, back again. We can't make up our minds. We're undecided. Should it be Krishna or Maya? Which is better? Maybe Maya is better. I've been in this movement for over 5 centuries. I've seen him come, I've seen him go. They thought Krishna is better, they thought Maya is better, and they left. 2 boys got initiated, but they were gone within a year, or within 2 years. First one left within a year, the second one left within 2 years. They're long gone. Parashara Das and Palashya Das was finished. And then so many have come and gone, even big GBCs have come and gone, if you can imagine, you see. So what's going on here, my dear ladies and gentlemen? What's going on here? It's that flickering mind, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So how do you bring that rascal mind under control? That's the real question here. If you want to really turn on your soul, you got to bring that rascal mind under control. You can't let it flip you back into bodily consciousness. You have to train that rascal mind how to always remain fixed in, what is it called? Krishna consciousness. What's the name of our movement? The International Society for what? Krishna consciousness. So what does that mean? We as members of ISKCON are supposed to be what? Krishna conscious. You got it? Why are we not Krishna conscious? You know what it means? As I told down in Pune, if we're not Krishna conscious, it's not ISKCON, it's MISKCON, missing Krishna consciousness. So let's make this actually ISKCON and not MISKCON by learning how to tune in and turn on your soul. It's my book titled, Tune In, Turn On, and Bliss Out. If you tune in and turn on, then you can be in a state of ecstasy 24 hours a day. Wouldn't you like to be in a state of ecstasy 24 hours a day? With no more worries, no more anxieties, no more problems. Just blissing out, like singing and dancing 24 hours a day in total ecstasy within your heart, you see. Not at your job, you can't sing and dance at your job, but you can sing and dance within your heart. I remember when I was first working a job, one of the first jobs I had, I went from 14 years of brahmachari life to grahastha life. And we decided to open a little preaching center in Austin, Texas, and I didn't have any income, so I got a part-time job in a cheap apartment and doing telesales, MCI, long distance company, calling people up and convincing them to sign up for MCI. And but I say, well, I should look like a karmi, so they hire me. So I hid my neck beads, I took off my tilak and went to work looking like a karmi. But one day I said, enough of this. I have to be who I am. So I showed my neck beads, I had a nice tilak on, I went to work. Yeah, I gotta be Krishna conscious. Heck with looking like a karmi, forget it, And that day, now let me explain for you. My supervisor, Terrence Washington, his duty is to fire up his team to get more sales. So he has a commission on the sales of his team. So he wants everybody to get a lot of sales because he's get paid for that, right? So anyway, that day I had tilak on and I was selling, boom, 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 sale after sale after sale after sale. My supervisor was going, wow. My karma name is Bridge, by the way. A nice karma name, Bridge. He said, Mr. Bridge, he said, at the end of the day, he said, Mr. Bridge, I do not know what that is on your forehead, but now you must wear it every day. So I found that even if you're working a job, if you're Krishna conscious, you do a better job. You become a star performer just by being Krishna conscious of your job. So who's the loser by being Krishna conscious? And the point is, if you tune into Krishna, you're going to have a very successful, happy life. You don't have to compromise. Know who you are and be who you are. I'm a devotee of Krishna. I'm not a Juhuian or a Bombay, a Mumbai, whatever you call it. I'm not a Maharashtrian or this or that. I'm the eternal servant of Krishna, and I'm going to stop trying to be something else. I'm just going to be from now on who I actually am. And by doing that, you're going to be a very leading person in the world, actually. You become a powerful leader just by being who you are. That's all you got to do. You become a powerful leader. I had a rash realization as we got ready for this world tour. We're doing a world tour from Austin in a whole loop. Austin and Bulgaria, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, and then from Finland and then to South Africa and Mauritius, and then we made a stop in Doha, and then we came over here to India. And then we go on to Malaysia and Australia and back to the US. As we're beginning this around the world preaching tour, sitting there in the Austin airport, seeing all these karmis walking here, walking there, buying this for the sense gratification and all that. I realized, well, wait a minute. These people, actually, they're all Krishna's devotees. Every one of these people has pure Krishna bhakti sleeping within their hearts right now. And it's predicted, and Prabhupada has told us, and actually it's predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that verse? Sajjana Darjana Pangu Jadana Gana Prema Bandaya Dura Jagatara Jana. This Krishna consciousness movement is an tidal wave of ecstasy is going to inundate the entire world and drown everyone, whether you're pious, sadhjana, impious, durjana, whether you're lame, indolent, or blind, or you're in a wheelchair, or whatever, you see. Everybody's become inundated in this tidal wave of love of God, you see. That's predicted. Now, is Lord Chaitanya, you know what he's talking about, or he's just giving some flowery words? Is it flowery words or is it authority? That's my, what do you all say? Flowery words or authoritative? Authoritative, that's right. Why is Lord Chaitanya authoritative? Who is he? He's God himself. He's God himself appearing in the form of a devotee. And he said that it's going to happen. This whole world has actually become Krishna conscious. And saying, wow, is that possible? In Juhu and in Mumbai and all these places are all going to become devotees? Yes, it's going to happen. Because Lord Chaitanya said it's going to happen. He's the supreme authority. So I realized in that Austin airport that all these people are actually devotees right now, this very minute. They're just sleeping, that's all. What do we have that song? Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Gona Chandra Bodhe. Wake up, you sleeping. So everybody is actually right now on this whole planet, everybody's a pure devotee of Krishna right now, this very minute. I don't care if they're drinking beer, they're in a brothel or whatever. Every one of them is a pure devotee right now, you see. So, and then I realized that those persons who dedicate their lives to preach this mission of Krishna kindness to awaken the fallen souls will go down in history as the saviors of the world, you see. So, what do you want? You want to be an important person, a very important person in world history, or just become a non-entity going after sense gratification? It's your choice. It's your choice. You want to be one of the leaders of the world, or you just want to be a person who gets sick and dies and thinking about sense gratification? It's your choice. It's your choice. So if you turn on your soul and actually be who you are, you'll have a powerful uplifting impact on this entire, not only this planet, not only this entire universe, but the entire material existence. You'll have an uplifting impact. So would you like to turn on your soul, or you want to remain asleep in the lap of Maya? What's your choice? I like to remain asleep in Maya's lap. Her lap is so comfortable, you know. Such a comfortable lap, Maya's lap. Oh, it's so cozy and comfortable in Maya's lap. Is that what you want? Stay asleep in the lap of Maya? Oh, her lap is so warm and cozy. Let me just remain in Maya's lap. Is that what you want? Would you rather be a spiritual revolutionary with an uplifting impact on global history, on universe, on the whole world's history? What is your choice, my dear listeners, my dear ladies and gentlemen? What do you want to do? Want to be a non-entity cog in the wheel? If you don't take the position of being a Krishnaite, a Chaitanya-ite, you're nothing but a cog in the wheel of the material civilization. It's exploitative, ignorant, exploited civilization. What's civil about it? I think that word is wrong. Civilization? Are you kidding? What's civil about it? Show me one thing civil about it. Why do they even call it a civilization? Might better call it animalization. You want to be a cog in the wheel of the animalization? Or do you want to actually have an uplifting impact on the history of the material existence? It's your choice. I don't care whether you're young, old, male, female, Indian, American, Lithuanian, whatever you may be, you see. If you want to choose to be a Chaitanya-ite, one who follows Lord Chaitanya's order, Jadi Dekatadika, Krishna Buddha Guru, Haryadesh, you will have an uplifting impact on the entire history of this material existence. So it's up to you. Tune in, turn on, and bliss out, or don't tune in and don't turn on and continue suffering. It's your choice. Who likes to suffer? Let's see a raise of hands. Who enjoys suffering? I mean, it's really fun to suffer. I didn't see one hand going up. I mean, none of you enjoy suffering? But this material civilization is teaching you that you can enjoy by suffering. That's what they teach you. Do you believe them? There's one who said, no, that's good. One intelligent person in the crowd. Yeah. Now you can ask questions. We're actually going through a little bit here. If you have any questions, Write them down and send them on up. I love questions, by the way. I really love them. I love the questions. Because I'm not such an expert preacher, you know. I kind of run out of things to say after a while because I don't really know much about Krishna consciousness. Okay, here we go. How to relish chanting and develop deep faith. That's a very nice question. How to relish the chanting. The first thing is chanting is relishable. But the difficulty is we don't really relish it. Just like Prabhupada gives the example for the jaundiced patient, sugar candy tastes horrible. Even though sugar candy is relishable, when you have jaundice, it's very bitter. So sometimes we have to admit it, we're not really attracted to the chanting. We just do it, but we're not attracted. You know what I mean? We're not always attracted to it. We don't always relish the chanting. You know what I mean? So it's because we're suffering from the jaundice of material consciousness. But what's the cure for the jaundiced patient? What does the doctor say? My dear patient, you don't like to take the sugar candy, but you go ahead and take it, because by taking it, the sweetness will come back. So by the way to come to a point of relishing the chanting is keep chanting. And what do they say? Chanting is enchanting. So you keep chanting and chanting and chanting, and gradually that natural sweetness of unlimited nectar is actually unlimited nectar in what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. I'm going to give some to Guru Maharaji, my wife here, my better half. She gives better answers than me, so we're going to share the questions. Huh? You want? Oh, she's giving it to me. All right. Well, that's the key. You keep chanting in the order of the spiritual master, and by that chanting process, it's like the doctor orders you to take sugar candy, spiritual master orders you keep chanting. And by doing that, the magic happens. And lo and behold, that amazing relish, you see, that unlimited nectar starts to become tasted more and more and more and more and more. How to spread this message of Krishna consciousness to people, so people who have no time. No time, sir. They have plenty of time for sense gratification, don't they? They have tons of time for sense. They go to the movie, they do so many things. They go to the liquor shop, there's so many things. They have so much time for sense gratification because they're locked into bodily consciousness. So we have to show them by our own enthusiasm for Krishna consciousness. There's really something here. Your own enthusiasm was the best attractive feature. Your own enthusiasm. That's how Prabhupada got us, you see. We're a bunch of hippies, totally into illicit sex and intoxication. How did Prabhupada convince us to give it up? You see? By his enthusiasm. He was tasting so much nectar and there was so much love in his dealings with us. We said, we'll give Swamiji a try. This was pretty good. And it worked, you see. We tasted it. So your own enthusiasm is the key. You have to be very loving and kind and enthusiastic. And then you're convinced by your own example, by your own relishing Krishna consciousness and tasting the nectar of Krishna's mercy. You have that enthusiasm and go, wow, I've never met a person who's this enlivened and blissful and kind. You have to be a living example of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And then the whole world will be attracted, actually. Okay. How? Now, Hare Krishna Srila Gurudev, please accept my thanks for the Prabhupada. How can we get more and more mercy of the Lord? The more you give the mercy, you get the mercy. The more you get the mercy. You take up the activity of spreading Krishna consciousness, book distribution, Harinam, or just telling people about Krishna. The more you spread the mercy of Krishna, the more you get the mercy. So the more you give, the more you get. And the opposite side is the more you get, the more you can give. So it really works both ways. You take up preaching Krishna consciousness as much as you can. I mean, it's a nice example. Back in the old days, there wasn't much happening yet. Hardly anybody had joined, but Shama Sundar and Malati there when Vrindavan, the little girl Saraswati. And And she used to go up to some gentleman, little girl, she'd go up to, she would say, do you know who is Krishna? Some Hindu gentleman. And she would say, the Supreme Personality of God. The little Saraswati, she was going to some Hindu gentleman and preaching about Krishna consciousness. So, a little girl can preach. If a little girl can preach, certainly an adult can preach, isn't it? It's very simple. Just say Hare Krishna wherever you go. Just like we got off the airplane and the steward said, thank you. And I said, Hare Krishna. I mean, every chance you can say Hare Krishna, just by hearing it to become purified. Just take every opportunity to say Hare Krishna. In your ordinary dealings with people, they say goodbye. We say Hare Krishna. You see, take every opportunity just to vibrate the name of Krishna into their ears. They may not know what it is, but they might even recognize it. But if you say Hare Krishna, and sometimes we even get them to say Hare Krishna. I say, my dear sir, can you repeat these words? Hare Krishna. And says, okay, and they actually get him to say it. So even those little things have an impact in their eternal existence. So let them hear the holy name. If you get him to say the holy name, that's really powerful. Okay. What is speak? Have you given me a book?
Yeah, I can say what you said about that. Here is the question: what qualities do a preacher requires? Compassion. Compassion for the living entities, then the one can preach.
Okay, the next question. How to get out of the comfort zone? Well, my dear listeners, you think it's a comfort zone? It's actually a discomfort zone. What do you think a comfort zone is? A discomfort zone. And what is that discomfort? Birth, death, old age, disease. Are you comfortable with getting sick and old and dying? Maybe young, think it's okay, but when you get up to like 76, where I'm at now, all the pains start to get pain here, pain there. Wow. Pain in the knee, pain in the mouth, pain in the elbow is one pain after another pain. The ears go bad, and the eye, you find you got a cataract, it's just one thing after another. Believe me, it's not a comfort zone. Being in bodily consciousness, you're young, it may seem pretty cool, but believe me, it's not a comfort zone at all. So get out of your stupid so-called comfort zone and enter the real comfort zone, which what is it called? Krishna consciousness. That's the real comfort zone. Okay, next figure of energy.
Many of them have wonderful parents, loving, supporting, etc. How to detach with them? It's very difficult and emotional. Become truly attached. Not become detached, but truly attached. Truly attached means you do your service to them very nicely. Putra means, if this is a male asking question, then putra means to deliver them from the cycle of birth and death. Otherwise we are not. So it's better to become really attached to them, to help them to become Krishna conscious. Okay? If they are wonderful, they will support your Krishna conscious and they will become Krishna conscious.
I'm down to my last question, so please send more questions, otherwise we'll end early. Okay, here's an interesting question. There are 84 lakh species on this planet, actually throughout the whole universe, is what we're talking about here. 8 million, throughout the whole universe, there's 8,400,000 different species. Does each jiva take the 84 lakhs of birth? So the answer is yes. You may be surprised to hear, each of you may be surprised to hear this, but I'm telling you, this is a fact according to the Shastra. You know when your first birth was here in this material world? Anybody say? What was their first birth in the material world? Yes? Lord Brahma, that's right. Each one of you had your own universe. You see, there's an infinite number of universes in the material world. There's an infinite number of Brahmas. So every one of you had your own universe. You were Lord of the whole universe. Can you imagine that? Balaji's everyone. Everybody, you had your own universe, and you were Lord of that entire. This boy knows. You had your own universe. You were the controller. Why didn't you stay in that position? Because you weren't happy being the Lord. of the universe. It's better. So let me try being an Indra. So you try being this, and then you get all the way down to being Indragopa germ. And these are all there's all the, actually you tried every one of the 8 million pronoun species. Maybe it's better being a giraffe. How about a crocodile? Maybe a cactus plant in the desert. Or maybe a little mosquito. You've tried every single species, and guess what? You are never satisfied. That's why you tried a different one, a different one, a different one, a different one. But now you've gotten a very special birth, and you not only that, you got a birth in the holy land of India. And Indian birth is very, very auspicious. You see, I was born in America. You people were born in India. See? The land of Krishna, you have very, very special human birth. The Shastras say, Yatato Brahman Jigyasa. Now you've got a human birth, utilize it for self-realization. So, continue.
You have taken a human birth in India, so it's very nice. I understand what Chaitanya is. Should we become proud and say, why you take initiation from a white guru?
Well, I can tell you this. This movement, the first people to join were not Indians. The American hippies were the first ones to join. And when they came to India, the Indians said, the Americans are doing it, must be pretty good. So the Indians joined, they saw the Americans were doing it. So don't be too proud of being an Indian, or American either. But the Indians joined when they saw the Americans were doing this process. That's how it happened. I don't know how it started. Prabhupada his American disciples, the Indian, and the people said the Americans are doing it. Wow, this must be, our culture must be good after all. The Americans are doing it. So I'm just telling you the truth.
On the other side, isn't that Bharat Varsha is the whole world?
That's another point. You know when Columbus discovered America, what did he call the people? You know, anybody know? Columbus discovered America, what did he call the people? Indians. Why did he call them Indians? He thought he'd go and circle the globe and come to India. But actually, they were Indians because under the reign of Maharaj Bharat, this whole planet was Bharatvarsha. So India was the whole planet under so many Vedic kings that gradually shrunk down. And then lately they cut off Pakistan also. That was another shrinking. You see, now the Sikhs want to shrink it even more, isn't it? So actually, the whole planet is Indian. So we're all Indians, actually. I'm an Indian. I'm a born Indian as well. Born in the United States of America. It's part of India. Actually, it is part of India. According to Vedic culture, it's part of India. So anyway, let's go to you want to take a next one, Mataji?
You spoke about of your mind and becoming unconscious about Krishna. Unconscious about Krishna. Do you say that? What do you do to keep your mind connected to Krishna and be in ISKCON mode rather than entering ISKCON? We have to bring Srila Prabhupada in the center, follow his instructions, the books that he has given, live our life with that. Not we water it down because I am not able to follow.
Okay, it is said in Kali Yuga, it's very easy to get God. Why is it? Because of short lifespan? Interesting question. Actually, Lord Chaitanya's mercy makes it very easy to attain. Formerly in the Satya Yuga, they did great austerities. For 60,000 years, they would do Ashtanga Yoga. 60,000 years. And then the Treta Yuga, they lived for 1,000 years, they did great sacrificial ceremonies, 10,000 years, great sacrificial ceremony. In the Dwapara Yuga, they did, Dwapara Yuga, what did they do?
10,000.
Huh?
10,000.
10,000. There's Dwapara, Satya Yuga, Dwapara, Treta, and then Dwapara. What do they do? What was the method in the sacrificial ceremonies in Treta, right? And the Dwapara, what do they do?
Dwapara is the third one.
Huh?
Third.
What did they do for self-realization?
deity worship.
Deity worship, yeah. Very, very allowed with deity worship. So, but the lifespan was 1,000 years, but in this age we only live for 100, it's even shrinking down lower and lower. Now, the average age is about 80 or 79, something like that. So, in this age, because of the short lifespan and it's very, very difficult materialistic age, it's very special mercy just by chanting these names of love. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, and achieve all perfection. Next question.
When and how can I know that which words of my spiritual master are instructions to me for my life? Every word of a spiritual master should be taken as the instructions of the life.
Okay, here's a question from Bhakti Sunil. Srila Gurudev, what can keep me enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness and absorbed in times of material desires and mind disturbed? Well, I'm not going to tell you what keeps me always, because let's face it, we have the ups and downs. Even after 50 years, you can still have ups and downs. So what keeps me enthusiastic through all these ups and downs is a wonderful instruction I got from Prabhupada. I wrote Prabhupada, I wanted to spread this movement after my initiation. He said, I can see you're a very sincere and enthusiastic boy, eager to spread this Krishna consciousness movement, so now continue enthusiastically as you were doing, and surely Krishna will bless you. So that's kept me going for over 5 decades. Prabhupada told me, and those words are not any less potent nowadays when Prabhupada told me this in 71. So I know that by being enthusiastic, I get the blessings of Krishna. So Bhakti Sunil, same thing applies to you. Where are you seated? Yeah, there you go. If you will always be enthusiastic, Krishna will bless you. So no matter what happens, keep your enthusiasm, and Krishna will shower His mercy upon you. If you take these words to heart, you'll be enthusiastic in every situation, and it's how you attract Krishna's mercy. Okay.
Even being part and parcel of Lord, why are we so stupid to enjoy this material stuff and stuck in the lap of Maya? When you have realized, whose question is this? It's a pretty good question. So now you have realized it, so don't remain stupid. Wake up and become free from material stuff.
Srila Gurudev, when a person does not even realize he is sleeping under the lap of Maya, then in that state, how can someone initiate the process of self-realization? This reminds me of the example, somebody's supposed to get up and go to their job, but they're sleeping, they don't even realize they're oversleeping, right? Time to go to work, but they don't even realize they're sleeping. The people that are supposed to get up, they're going to be late for their job, get in trouble with the boss, they're still sleeping, soundly sleeping. So, what's the solution? Called a loud alarm clock. A super loud alarm clock. No matter how deep, it's going to pull you in. It's a good app that I recommend called Loud Alarm. I use it, Loud Alarm app on my iPhone. Loud Alarm. So, the person, what's the solution for this? You need to have to really, let's see how we do it. How can someone initiate the process of self-realization when they don't realize they're sleeping? How do you convince somebody? That's a very interesting question. How do you convince somebody they're in Maya? They need to come out of Maya. They think they're very happily situated in material energy. How to convince them? Well, not really happy. They're not really satisfied. That's a very, very interesting question. How to convince somebody who thinks they're enjoying that actually they're suffering. It's a very difficult thing to do. The people who are attracted to Krishna consciousness are those people who realize they're suffering. Then they can look for the solution. But those who don't realize they're suffering, how you convince them they're suffering, so they need to come out of the suffering. It's a very, very big, challenging thing to do. We have to somehow attract them to somehow connect with Krishna consciousness, to prasadam, to the kirtan, where they think it's a great, enjoyable thing to come to the temple and see the arati beautifully done. we have to make it so attractive that they're attracted to it, even though they don't realize they're suffering. We have to give them a taste of the real taste, the real happiness. That's the key. Somehow give them a taste of the real happiness of Krishna consciousness, so they can actually realize, hey, this is better than what my happiness I have now. This is better happiness than that. The happiness I'm having now, and then eventually they realize that I'm really having happiness at all. And so that's the way to do. Give them a higher taste.
Even we do chanting 16 rounds, reading and doing some service, but it's not satisfying me. Wonderful. That I'm not doing sufficiently. Do it more. And sometimes I cry for that. What is it? What should I do that I become satisfied in my devotional service? That is wrong. Satisfy Krishna, then you will be satisfied. Whose question is this? This is a wonderful question. Whose question is this? It appeared like that from the end. No. We are always really eager to satisfy ourselves in every way, material activities, these activities, devotional activities. No. Devotional activities we do to satisfy Krishna. It is not for my satisfaction. Then we will feel satisfaction. If we satisfy make sure that Lord is satisfied. Okay? And the second question on this. I'm not able to completely surrender to Srila Prabhupada's mission. Also, I am not able to follow my Shiksha Guru's instruction. This maybe if you are going to satisfy everyone, then you will be able to engage in devotional service. Whoever's question is this. Follow the instructions of the Shiksha Guru, either because you should be very grateful to the Shiksha Guru, because by the mercy of the Shiksha Guru, you have come to Krishna consciousness and surrender unto Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for all the devotees. So we can follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions and guidance, which is beneficial for our Krishna consciousness, in advancement in Krishna consciousness.
What is the practical application of coming out of the bodily platform to the real platform? That's chanting, hearing, remembering, offering prayers, Navavida Bhakti. Engage yourself in the 9 processes. It all begins with hearing and chanting. Like you're hearing right now, aren't you? Is everybody hearing, or your mind is somewhere else? Who's actually hearing tonight? Raise your hand. Some of you are not. But all those who are not hearing, please tune in. Now don't let your mind run around somewhere. Please tune in. Those who didn't raise your hands, you're not hearing. So please tune in. Everybody tune in. Don't let it go in one ear, not the other ear. Take it. Tune in. Both ears down. Deep, deep, deep. Really hear.
Maybe they are humble.
Huh?
Maybe they are humble.
They're being humble. They're going. I think there's being spaced out. That's what I think. But anyway, tune in. Everyone tune in and hear. See, that's where it all begins, by hearing transcendental sound vibration. That transcendental vibration has the potency to liberate your consciousness from bodily identification, to bring you to the spiritual platform of eternal fully bliss and knowledge. So tune in, turn on, and bliss out. Okay? Next one, Devi.
How to success in our daily life. What success one feels. If you do not understand your human life, whatever success you may get, it's a failure. Come to understand that you are eternally the servant and engage in devotional service. That is the success of human life and daily life. And the second question is, why this life go hard for any career work?
Why this life so hard for any career work? How we can make good people? why my mind rotates for good work and bad work. How we can change our daily life. Right.
We can change our daily life. There is no change. You have to come to the higher purpose of the life. Only then you can change yourself. There is no other way. That is the knowledge. Otherwise, if you want to remain in ignorance of material life and daily life, so-called daily life, you will live like that only. Because material life and daily life, so-called daily life, is not a success of human life. It's a failure. So if you want success, take to Krishna consciousness. That is the success in your life. Otherwise, it's a failure.
How to stay persistent during bad times when we don't feel like chanting, and what to do during those times. Actually, bad times are the greatest thing. Kunti was praying for bad times. May those bad times come again and again, she was praying, because then I can be Krishna conscious. So actually, bad times are the greatest blessing. When the bad times come, think, oh, Krishna, you're blessing me these bad times. Well, I understand I have no shelter in this material world except for you. So take bad times as a blessing, and you'll be in good shape. Very good shape. Following the footsteps of Queen Kunti.
How to maintain good Vaishnava relationship?
How to have good Vaishnava relationships.
Rupa Goswami has given this, how to keep in good relationship.
It's a very simple thing.
Pradati, pratigranati. Puyamakyati, prachati. That's how we can keep. That means sharing the prasadam, inquiry, and talking about Krishna consciousness. That is how we do it. Not all my material life, how I'm going to engage in material.
Another point is, instead of looking for fault in the Vaishnavas, look for fault in yourself. That's humility. If you're always finding faults, why this devotee is like this, why this devotee is like that, look for your own faults. Look for the glories in others and the faults in yourself. That's how you can have good relationships. Okay, preaching means to touch the heart and transform it. How can I, with so much purity, be instrumental in this transformation of consciousness? You have to take shelter of those whose consciousness is transformed. That's the bona fide spiritual master, that senior devotee. Take shelter of those whose consciousness is transformed, and you will transform your consciousness by their association. That's how Prabhupada got us. You see, we associated with Prabhupada, we relished his association as the sweetest nectar, and by that association, we became transformed. Debbie, it's your turn.
Okay. Lots of inhuman activities are happening, such as rape, girls, smuggling, and so many. What is it?
Why Krishna is not stopping?
Why Krishna is not stopping this? We are child of him, and he is so merciful. He's stopping, but you are not following. That's the problem. He is telling you how to come out of this sense gratificatory activities, but we want to degrade ourselves to the animal platform, and we can say lower than animal platform. That's why we do. Animals are more living by the nature. Animals live by the nature. They don't get into all these kinds of unnecessary the sense gratification, but human beings are lower, becoming lower than to rape the girls, smuggling, rape girls, uncontrolled senses, more than. So we are not to say that inhuman, but we are lower than the animals. So please get out of this. We are child of Krishna is stopping you. If you are a human, give up these inhuman activities, and Krishna is giving Bhagavad Gita. So the scriptures are for the human. Please take it, and this is how we can stop all this.
How do I measure spiritual progress? It's very simple. How much do you have a taste for hearing about Krishna? There's another question here. How to avoid material temptations? You have to get the higher taste. Chimanacharya Albandra was formerly a king enjoying so much sex pleasure. He's become a sadhu now. He says, Yadavari mama chaita Krishna padara vinde navanava rasadhanam yantaram sit tadavari bhattanari sangamai smargamani bhavati bhuku vikarasastiva. Ever since I've engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, tasting Nava Rasa, ever-increasing pleasure in that service, whenever I think of having sexual intercourse with a woman, my lips curl with this taste, and I spit at the thoughts. So you have to be a good spitter. When material thoughts come, spit at the damn things. Get out of mind. Flush them down. You pass stool, you flush it, right? So these thoughts are like stool. The temporal temptation, just flush them down. Get out of my mind. You're not welcome here. My dear mind, your only business is to be Krishna conscious. Don't you think about sex or this or that. My mind, you have no business. Don't think about things. Get them out of your brain right now. Mind, clear them out. Spit at them. That's a very good technique. You can try it. It works. Believe me, it works. Somebody confirmed by Jamunacharya Albandri of South India. It works. The process works. Spit at them. Be a good spitter.
Most of the time I feel incompetent to serve devotees and my spiritual parents. Is it because I'm not fixed up fully in my devotional practices? What way so I can serve them best? Become a good devotee.
Well, these questions are actually the same question, actually in different ways. That's the same question again and again. But anyway, we'll take them. How to be steady in difficult times? I already told you, see him as a blessing. What attitude attracts people to Krishna consciousness? Love. When you show your loving kindness to them by your dealings, that's how Prabhupada attracted us, by his love. He attracted us by his loving dealings. So you deal with people in a very compassionate way. That's how you attract them. What should be on the same paper, what should be our mind for serving in Krishna consciousness? Love. Same thing. Just like when I was in Atlanta at the Sunday Peace Lecture, Prabhupada was speaking, and my godbrother Narantra Prabhu asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? Prabhupada said, if you love Krishna. So that's the key. Your attitude should be love, and that is loving Krishna. Love is the key for preaching and for practicing Krishna consciousness. Love is the key. Love. L-O-V-E, love. That's the key. Any more questions there, Devi? Don't have any more? Yeah, I can give you. Give some of your Manji, take. Take that one, Judge. There's no more questions. We can end early because it's tough traveling like this.
While we try to focus on vibration, but we cannot focus constantly, but while chanting with to hear, trying to hear our focus. Immediately intimate on lotus feet of the Lord. As Prabhupada said in one of the lectures, that
She has some.
temple.
She has one. Okay. You want to end it?
Okay. So temple is not the place to meditate on. Yes, meditate on the Lord, but at the same time, chanting is the Lord's lotus feet. Chanting and so the temple is not different. So temple makes this more conducive place for chanting. But if our mind is not focused on the chanting, Prabhupada said we should chant the holy name like a child crying for the mother. If you want to focus on the holy name, we must chant like child crying for the mother. Do you know what is child crying for the mother? Even everybody comes and pray and wants the child to stop crying, it will not until the mother comes. So this is how we should chant our chant, not like child crying for mother. And that's how we will be able to. Another time Prabhupada also said, feel the presence of Krishna. Because Krishna and Krishna's name is not different. So we also, if you cannot feel, then you hear and chant. This is what Prabhupada has said, so we should do that. And so gradually, in the beginning we may not feel it, but gradually if we follow these instructions of Srila Prabhupada, we will be able to feel the lotus feet of Krishna. Not only lotus feet, we will be seeing Krishna face to face, if we chant that way.
So I'm going to really quickly, just like 30-second quick. No more questions. I'll try to do these really fast because we have to take rest. Krishna consciousness, Sikha says Krishna consciousness is very rare, but Kali Yuga is full of miseries. But Lord Chaitanya said it will spread all over the world. Why? Because he's very kind. That's why he's very kind. Lord Chaitanya is very, very kind. See, do we require to do a little more hard austerities or remove our penances for purifying, or should we depend on Maha? You don't do any extra austerities. It's not necessary. You just do what you're doing right now, but more love. That's all. You don't require sit on go to the beach and stand on your head or do some pranayama or fast. Only take Vishana once a week. You don't do anything. Just increase your loving feelings. That's all. I'd like to do all the services to Krishna except japa. What should I do? I do japa first thing every day. Makes your first business. You can actually get up and chant it before Mangalarti. Make japa your first thing you do every day. Yeah. Mike? Is it Mike? You have to. You can beg Krishna, please, my dear Lord, bless me. I can chant this japa with loving feelings within my heart. You can beg Krishna to help you, and he will. Krishna says a japa. He is representative of japa as the yagya. So we should perform as a yagya, not otherwise. When and how can it happen when I lose interest in material life? You can do it right now. You can do it right now. Kick it out. Flush it down. Get rid of it. You can do it right now. In the middle of this lecture, you can do it right now. If you want to. If you want to, you can do it right now as I'm speaking this lecture. Okay, how to avoid offending devotees? If I offend devotees, what can I do? Vanchakopadarubhyascha, 30% of yevacha, patihan pavanaya vaishnadeva namaha. Srila Gurudev and you and Guru Mata have such ideal pair to follow. How can we give such life partners? Well, just worry about your own Krishna consciousness. Don't worry about looking for a mate. Okay? Just worry about your own Krishna consciousness, and Krishna will give you best facility if you're really serious to be Krishna conscious. Okay. How to go distance, or I can't read this, and how to go from the passion you I can't read this, I'm sorry. This is the last one. This will be the last one, we'll finish it. Can you read it for me? Can you read it? I need somebody with glasses can read it.
How to get distance or detachment from the person you
How to
are
get
thinking about.
how to get a sense of detachment from the person I was talking about?
Thinking about.
How to get detachment from the person you're thinking about? Maybe they're talking about you're lusting after some boy or some girl, and how to get detachment. Let's say you're a girl thinking about a boy, or a boy thinking about a girl. How to get detached from that? Think about Krishna. He's better than any boy or girl. Next one.
How to become uniform in every aspect of life.
How to become
uniform.
How to become
Uniform.
Uniform? What is it?
In every aspect of life, whether it be God.
I don't follow. And any?
How to become uniform in every
How
aspect.
to become uniform? It means steady. Okay. I had these uniform stops out here, but it's different from that. Okay. I want to know how to wear a uniform. How to become steady is really thing. How to become steady? Well, you have to practice it. It's like you practice a thing, but somebody becomes expert Madonna player by practicing, so they're really good. So you have to practice being steady. When you're unsteady, say, okay, get back on the track. By practicing being uniform or steady to develop it. Last one.
How to inculcate or apply various forms of Krishna in day-to-day, because not everyone that we live are the followers of Krishna.
What was the last half of the question?
So and everyone that we live are not the follower of Krishna.
Yeah, how to practice Krishna consciousness living with non-devotees, that's a big issue. I get in my emails all kinds of people, some not even, they force them to meet some families, can you imagine? It's so bad. Sometimes they let them even cook their own food, but they won't let them do it's different in every situation you're living in non-devotees. But try to see this is an opportunity for you to intensify your taking shelter of Krishna, because your family members are against it. Sometimes they're a little bit against it, sometimes they're totally against it. Whatever situation you're in, take it as Krishna's mercy to help you intensify your taking shelter of Him. So that's it. We're going to continue now. Any more questions? Come to Bhagavatam class tomorrow morning. At what time? 8 a.m.? So come tomorrow at 8 a.m. You'll have more chance to ask questions at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So how many people want to take this process seriously and make your lives unlimitedly sublime? Very good. So now do that. Take it very, very seriously. Take these instructions that myself and Guru Maharaj have given you, and all the instructions that Prabhupada is giving, and the senior devotees are giving. Take all these instructions very, very, very seriously, deep, deep within your heart. And what will happen is, you'll turn on your soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Huh? Don't they want to be serious about awakening their Krishna consciousness? Don't they want to be steady and come to the higher platform of human life? Those who didn't raise their hands. No answer.
Okay, throw it. I just stand up to do that. Throw it.